Greetings and welcome to another excellent chess video. Now this one, I'm not going to do any chess. I'm going to explain some stuff to you. It's real basic stuff. This is an explanation of chess more so than actual chess moves, okay? But it just looks better this way. So the thing that I want to mention is, like, I look at other chess videos and I'm trying to see what these guys are doing. I see a lot of weakness out there, okay, in those chess videos. And the thing I see is I see people behaving in a way as a video creator, playing chess games online, whatever. Constantly I see this paranoia. They're afraid of making a mistake. I don't know if that's a good move or whatever, because what they're doing is not natural, okay? The difference is when you're making a chess video and when they're playing a game, and I'm not insulting them necessarily. It's not natural for you to comment on your moves while you're playing a game. It's completely against the nature of actual chess improvement. I would know. I've improved myself way back. I did it in the early 80s. It's 40 years ago. But the thing is, it's very natural, and I want to discuss this briefly. Oh, I don't know if this is a good move. They're over analyzing trivialities, and they're missing what you would call the big picture items. So here's the big picture item. When you're going to make a move, for example, it's like, I don't know, let's just do something here. Let me show you something that's interesting. This is just an analysis board. All right. So show you a basic opening and just give you an idea. All right. And now, oh, sorry, that's not the one I wanted to do. I want to do this. Okay, this is the Scotch game. This is a standard book procedure. This is the Scotch Gambit. Okay, so this one is like, they're like, well, now how would you defend this? You can play different stuff like bishop c5 or bishop e7 or knight f6, what have you, d6, whatever. But they're so paranoid. It's like, first things first, what this is telling you, if they don't know, or if you don't know this yourself, why are you doing this? If you're not aware of this opening, what have you, why are you doing this? You're asking for trouble. That's what my dad would say. You're asking for it, all right? Study something and then play something that you know, because you want to make yourself to be, relatively speaking, an expert, quote unquote, in the opening that you're playing, all right? And this is a terrific opening. You could go and do a different one. You could play the Goering Gambit, all right? And so this is, pawn takes pawn, knight takes what have you. You're gambiting a pawn to free your pieces up and just have vicious attacking potential. Here, let's just go ahead and do the basic Goering Gambit accepted. It's a German name. Okay. Now, the problem again here is, why are you playing this? Are you a tactical expert? See, this is the unanswered question. And I know I used to play this myself 40 years ago before I got actually good. I was learning all these different things. Oh, I can play it all, Goering Gambit or Scotch Gambit. It's all good. It's fine. How much of an expert in this are you? And the answer was, for myself, zero. Not literal zero, but close. I mean, I knew the name. I knew a couple of the moves. I didn't study this. I didn't. Number one, I didn't have a book to study this. But you don't need a book. You have the encyclopedia of openings here on the app, the chess.com. Okay, so the thing is, you want to do a structural study. It's like saying to a kid in high school, "Oh, you're in algebra class now," and the kid's like, "Well, I never learned how to do multiplication." You're like, "What?" Okay, They in chess, they play openings like Goering Gambit. Have you done the studying of this Gambit? No. Why are you here? Okay, the question why are you here is not the right phrasing. The right phrasing is, why are you here to play this opening that you've never studied? Are you here to get annihilated? Well, clearly the answer would be no in their part, but they have never thought about it. This is the thing. They haven't been coached in any competition, sport, whatever. All right. So I'm looking at this from the context of a coach. I played sports as a kid and all the way through my life. But if you don't have an experienced person explaining stuff to you, it's making it up as you go, which has its advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is that you're by yourself doing it at your own speed, which is fine, but it's only good if you're following a proven successful template. And most of the time, they're just making it up. Okay, so study, prepare yourself, play your basic opening that you've studied, whatever that is, okay? Let me give you another good example here. Okay, you'll notice this relatively quickly. This is a French defense. Now, you have different studies, Tarrasch French, classical French, advanced variation. If you studied any of these, go with that until you have improved on the study. Well, I studied classical. I personally never played classical against the French, okay? Not really. For me, it's like, look, I'm just going to play advanced variation. And I learned about advanced variation because it's a critical fight for the d4 square. You're trying to demolish the pawn chain, right? The white pawn chain is devastating from b2 to e5. So black needs to destroy this over time. Okay? White needs to counter that destruction. And then, black can play queen b6, etc., etc. But don't do it halfway. I use another phrasing, but it's not, necessarily child-friendly. The equivalent phrase would be, don't half rear-end it, okay? You can figure it out yourself, or half donkey it. Don't do it halfway. Study what you study. Study what you need to study. One of the problems you guys have, and I say you guys, computer learners, that I didn't have, is that I was at chess club, physical chess club. People would show up at a location, all right, which has advantages and disadvantages. And the disadvantages, we don't have engine analysis that helps us, okay? So it's a give and take. You gain certain advantages, certain disadvantages. So I did it from the old school physical human chess club. You have internet chess, whatever. All right, it's fine. But in the end, you learn the same moves here. Okay, you learn, for example, this is advanced French defense. You learn how to play this general strategy on this opening. So this is the thing. Don't sell yourself short. Don't assume, and this is one of the biggest things that happens in chess. You're a smart guy or girl. I'm going to say guy, meaning person, all right? That's how I talk. You're a smart guy. Whatever that means to you is fine. Doesn't matter. I don't care. You're a smart guy. Just because you're smart doesn't mean you're good at chess. Conversely, just because you're good at chess doesn't mean you're smart. Okay? If you're a smart person who's studying to improve, then you'll get better because of that. Just being smart in chess isn't enough. You have to have specific knowledge of the game to execute and win games. I'm telling you that. You don't, no matter how smart you are, you don't just go, oh, by the way, my name is, Professor Albert Einstein. I'm a genius at chess too. No, he wasn't. Okay. Conversely, you don't have Magnus. It's like, oh, well, I'm Magnus Carlsen and I'm now, a PhD physicist. It doesn't work that way. Okay. A PhD physicist is as alien to a chess grandmaster as the chess grandmaster is to PhD physics. Okay, they're not interchangeable. They both require tremendous, precise study, and they're not the same. And you can be a genius at one and an idiot at the other. That's the deal. So use your intelligence to your favor and advantage, but don't make the assumption. And so many players make the assumption that just because you have a high IQ, you're going to be good at chess. And I was already good at chess before I even heard the phrase IQ, because I was played with my father, and my father was beating me like a drum on the chessboard. Okay. Anyway, this is just basic stuff. So don't get carried away. Except you're like, okay, here's let me give you this one. All right, this is another one. All right. Why does this? Okay. Do you play King's Indian Defense? If the answer is no, you're going to get annihilated from either side. Okay. You're just going to get annihilated if you don't know this, because you're going to run into stuff like, oh, okay, let's play here. Oh, this move looks like it's okay. What are you going to do now, Bobby Fischer? You have to know what the next move is and why you're playing it. If you don't know this and don't know why you're playing it, you will be annihilated in this opening. Okay, this is it. So you want to learn and study to prepare yourself to not be annihilated in the opening, King's Indian Defense, for example. So simple stuff. Don't assume things. In fact, if you want to assume something, assume that you're not prepared to whatever level you like to be. That's a safe assumption, okay? But if you just assume, that, well, you're a genius in school, that doesn't mean you're a genius at chess at all. So simple stuff. Don't be crazy. That's why I wanted to show you and mention this stuff to you, just to focus your mind on what the business at hand is. If you don't know an opening, don't play it because you're not an expert. Number one, your tactical skill knowledge doesn't prevent you from being annihilated. Also, if you're not as tactically skilled as you need to be in certain openings, you're going to get butchered because they require certain types of tactics as a general rule. It's not a universal tactical thing. So there are certain tactical combinations that are more common in a King's Indian Defense than there are in a French defense, for example. So these are things, and also strategic elements that are unique to those specific formations. So that's it. Don't assume that you're smarter at chess than you are. You're safer in chess to assume, well, what am I going to do? I don't know. I need to go and find out. And if you're doing that on your own, you're on a better path. But just playing random games, oh my God, dude, I see these guys and I'm like, you're screwed. Guys are playing, I've seen some of these guys are playing multiple openings. It's different when you're a professional. It's different, okay? And you know these things, etc., master player or whatever. But I see these guys, 1,500 players playing. They're like 8 different openings. I'm like, Sonny, you don't know 2 openings, much less 8. Why are you trying to play 8 different openings in 8 different games? Gee, I can't imagine why I'm getting annihilated left and right. Gee, I can't either. Oh, I'm sorry, I can? There you go. So use common sense. In chess, you see a lot of times things where it's common sense. Let me give you another example. And this is hilarious stuff. Something that's super basic. All right, again, super basic. We're going to play an exchange variation. All right, let's just play an exchange variation. Simple stuff. Okay. It's like Queen's Gambit accepted. Now, if you don't play Queen's Gambit Accepted, what would you do here? You have no idea. You might get lucky, but you are not going to play the right ideas, the right moves, and your position is going to, as white, your position will devolve slowly without being, instantly annihilated. And as black, you could be very easily overwhelmed depending on the situation. So I've seen guys sitting here going, well, no one ever took this. They're normally they've played this for so long that they're expecting to play like a classical Queen's Gambit declined, or maybe a Slav defense. But the guy didn't do that. He just took it. Queen's Gambit Accepted. I've seen guys sit here for several minutes like, bro, what are you doing? That's the move. Okay? I've literally seen people sit there. Now, I'm not saying 10, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, or whatever. I'm talking minutes. Now, it can be very. I'm gonna do this at much faster speed for a demonstration. Okay, so I'm going to use this for speed. Okay, I'm not saying you should always play it like this. I know this, and I know this is right. Okay, I'd play it that fast, but it's a trap in itself to get out of your rhythm. In your chess games, you play in rhythm. Play your rhythm. Don't play someone else's rhythm. You don't need to be moving at Hikaru speed, because number one, you're not Hikaru. There's only one. He's him, and you're you. Okay? Play your rhythm. Okay? Let me give you an example. Let's go back here. All right. So you're going to have a guy playing white who plays very fast, and a guy playing black that plays in his own rhythm, but a slower rhythm. All right. So I'm going to give you a quickie example of this. Okay, so you have one guy that moved kind of fast on white, and the other guy, black, was a little bit slower, a little more methodical, a little bit more calm. This is one of the things in chess. Your feelings, your emotions, your attitude, how you feel affects the game. Okay, so don't be chaotic. You want to be the opposite of chaotic. You want to be smooth and under control. Everyone's different. You have a different rhythm than I do. And they might be similar. They might not be similar. They might be completely disparate. Okay? Be you. Don't try to be Hikaru. That guy can annihilate you in 30 seconds and make it look like it's the easiest thing that's ever happened on this planet. But that's because there's one of him, and he's it, and it ain't you. So be yourself. Do the best you can, but don't try to be a superstar when you're not a superstar. All right? So kind of simple stuff there. So just basic lessons of just grounded fundamentals. Be fundamentally strong. Don't try to be a superstar. You're not a superstar. It takes time to get good at chess. Play every day, etc., etc. Check out my other videos. You're going to learn the correct way to be better. If you learn the correct way to be better, what happens is your mental, stack is aligned properly instead of being good here and then good over here and then it's not a random piece thing. It is a like a staircase. The stairs are set in a way so you can get higher. But if you learn this and then learn this one over here and then this here and a couple of these here, it's all very chaotic, and it can appear visually tempting and that you're really knowledgeable, but really you're not. You have to learn things to cash games. Chess is all about getting an advantage, exploiting that advantage, and then cashing it in for a victory. And it's a brutal game. If you don't know things, it might not get you this game or the next game or 2 games, but it's going to get you eventually, and it's going to be brutally honest and crushing. So be aware of this and prepare yourself. You prepare yourself like a kung fu master. You don't just go out there and go, la-di-da, I'm a kung fu master. That's not how it works. And chess is the same way. Kung fu mastery requires specific motions, okay? And it's not obvious. It looks obvious, but it isn't, okay? This is the thing in chess. You've got to separate what's not real from what is real and play the things that are real. Guess what? You're not going to win every game. No one ever has. So you're not going to win every game. You're going to lose. When you lose, find out why you lost so that it doesn't ever happen again. You know, I mean, I lost so many games playing my father. That's why I'm good. Okay, so it's real simple. Take care of your basic stuff. Your fundamentals in every game are what separate you down the road. Build your fundamentals from the ground up. So hopefully this helps you out, give you a better perspective on attitude and what have you, and make you more focused. Study, look at my videos, and I make this easy for you to study so that you can get better faster. Not fake better, but really better. That's the difference. I could do things that make you feel good, and then you'd go out and get instantly annihilated. Well, that didn't help you. And if I'm fooling you, I'm hurting you. I'm not helping you. Get strong here in the brain. So really, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed some of this, learned something from this. Tell your friends, etc. Get stronger. Watch my other videos, especially Mega Training, and just absorb the messages that I'm teaching you, because this is going to make you better. At some point, just like putting salt in your hand, eventually grain by grain is nothing, but eventually that whole salt shaker is full of salt. You're like, you know what, if that was chess knowledge, I'd have something. And that's what you do. You're going to gain chess knowledge like you gain a grain of salt, one at a time. And over time, you do a daily basis, it becomes a substantial amount of salt. So do that. Watch my videos. They're going to make you stronger. If you don't understand it, that's fine. Ask a question. It's just that simple. So hope to see you guys in another video real soon. And as always, like and subscribe.